Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the 49ers Now podcast, week 3. Me and Jess will be talking about week 2 and looking forward to week 3. All of that right after this.
What's up, faithful? Welcome to the Niners Now podcast. Niners Jess here. Niner Beto. Show starts now. Let's go. Go Niners.
New era. Here we go. New era. Yeah. You ain't never seen nothing like this. Hey, hey, hey. I'm about to blow your mind with a twist. Hit the lights, here I go, go, go. Hey, hey, hey. I make the rules, I run the show. Get ready, get ready, get ready for it. Get ready. I'm in my new era. I'm back. I'm better in my new era. I'm back. I'm better in my new era. New era.
Can't hear you.
And if I take myself off of mute, you probably hear what I said. Welcome, everyone, to week 3 preview of the Cardinals and discussion of week 2 against the Saints. Jess, how are we doing today?
I am doing great. How about you?
I'm doing great. Can't complain. We got 2 victories on the road, and we're heading into week 3, 2-0 on the road. So that's always a plus. And we did it with our backup quarterback and some injuries, which we'll get into. Injuries have been like part of this season, and I hope this stops and it stops quick. Before we go forward, let's go ahead and acknowledge real quick Jimmy in the house. What's up, Jimmy? And we got Dina Harvey in the house. What's up, girl? Thank you for tuning in as people start trickling in. Jess, tell me a little bit about your thoughts of week 2 in New Orleans with the injuries and Mac Jones.
Well, I thought that this was, I guess, kind of like a must win. I mean, the first 2 weeks, being on the road, like it was important to get those wins. I thought Kyle Shanahan called a great game. I thought Mac Jones did really well. And I'm sure, we'll talk about whether Brock Purdy plays this week, but I think, with how well Mac Jones played, I think that, Brock Purdy can rest another week. But the defense, it was more of a bend, don't break this time. The offensive line seemed to be a lot better than they were against Seattle. And Connor Colby was the highlight of the offensive line. I think he did really well.
He definitely came in and for Ben Birch and handle his business. We're definitely going to talk about our rookies more into the show. What I liked about the Saint game is that even through adversity, even through everything going down, losing Juice to a concussion, losing Ben Birch, all the difficulties in playing on the road with a hostile environment, with the crowd noise, it did not keep the Niners from doing what they had to do. There were some struggles in there, but Mac Jones played a clean game as a backup, and that's what you want from your backup. You don't. It's not about controversy. It's not about who's better. It's about, can your backup win games while your starter is healing? And that's something that I saw from Mac Jones. And we don't know if Brock Purdy is going to start week 3 or not. That yet to be determined by Kyle Shanahan. But I'm confident with Mac Jones if we have to go another week. I prefer Brock Purdy, but I am comfortable with Mac Jones going into week 3 against Arizona for sure. Our running game.
Mac Jones is definitely an upgrade over our backups last year.
Absolutely, he definitely is. In our run game, kind of I would say it's better than last year. Definitely, it's only week 2, but I saw a little bit of run against us, and hopefully Robert Saleh will be able to figure that out and get that taken care of. But we're going to talk about specifically some players on defense that I'm excited about, and I'm excited to hear what your thoughts are of them yourself, Jess. What were your thoughts of losing the players that we lost to injury and the whole injury situation going on this year?
Well, I, I guess, you could start with even losing some guys in, free agency, which I think just the one was Dre Greenlaw. And it seems that, knock on wood, that D Winters is definitely stepping into that role. As far as, the guys injured on defense, there's Malik Mustafa should be back in a few weeks. I mean, the defensive line really held their own against the Saints. Nick Bosa, Bryce Huff, Michael Williams. Michael Williams had a really awesome game. CJ West, Alfred Collins, Demo. Nobody we're in week 2. We're going into week 3, and nobody has thrown Demo's way. So yeah, that's my take on the defense. And I have an echo again.
Yeah, I know. I just read that. I just made an adjustment. Let me know, Gina, if the echo went away from Jess. Let me know if that worked out. Well, let's get into since you brought it up. Let's the Niners beat the Saints 26-21, and on the road we're 2-0, coming back home for a home opener in Santa Clara for 2025 against a divisional foe in the Arizona Cardinals, who are also 2-0. I don't know if you watched any of their games, whether it's highlights or the actual games, Jess, but I want to get your thoughts on Arizona. If you watch anything on them, on their 2-0 start, do you think that's a legitimate 2-0, or it is based on teams that played?
I don't know. I mean, they did play. They did play New Orleans, and then they played who they play. They played Carolina. So I don't know. I mean, it is a division game. Arizona always plays us tough, no matter what. So I actually expect it to be a really good game, but I definitely think we come away with the win on this one. But like I said, they played New Orleans, they played Carolina. They're still NFL teams, but to me, those were kind of easy wins, even though the scores were rather close.
So how do you feel about going into week 3, where we're at right now with the injuries, and possibly starting Mac Jones once again, opening up the season at home against Arizona?
Well, I think we'll be okay. I mean, Juice is in concussion protocol. Juwan Jennings is day to day. Ben Barch is going to be out 4 to 6 weeks, but like I mentioned a little while ago, Connor Colby, was inserted at left guard, and he did really well. It seems, the guards, Connor Colby, Dominic Pooney are really, really doing really well. And I like Mac Jones. Like I said, he's an upgrade over the backups that we had last year. And I think he did really well against the Saints, and I think he's only going to get better.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that. And to that point, Jess, I hear a lot of people talk out there about that. And when I mean people, I'm talking about these so-called talking heads, right? Anybody can be good in Kyle Shanahan's system. Kyle makes these quarterbacks like there was somebody that I won't mention his name, but When I say this statement, if you know who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. But he says like Kyle should make a book for quarterbacks for dummies. That's his point of saying that how easy it is to be a quarterback and not in Shanahan's offense. That no matter who plays at quarterback, they will look good. And it's kind of taking a shot at Brock Purdy, saying that if Brock Purdy was anywhere else, he wouldn't be doing the things that he's doing here in San Francisco. I honestly want to get your thoughts on that, Jess.
It bothers me when they say that Kyle Shanahan's system is easy. Because as you and I both know, the quarterback is probably the hardest position in all of sports. And I know this person also said that they should have waited to pay Purdy as well. But I mean, it is what it is. People, you can't stop people from talking. Um, you know, Whatever. That's what I got to say about that.
No, I hear you. I mean, they're going to do what they do. They have a show. They want clicks. They want followers, and their job is to be critical on players, regardless of the team. They're always not. They're always biased about what they see, and they can say one thing and feel completely different, but because they want to give the audience what they want to hear, or maybe get the audience upset enough, well, they'll still follow these individuals. That's their end game. At the end of the day, I trust our quarterback coach. I trust our coaching staff in-house to understand what we have and what we don't have in these players. And the fact that Kyle can be a quarterback whisperer is not a bad thing. Kyle has a gift in working with quarterbacks. I mean, Jimmy G looked very good under Kyle, and that's not because Kyle's system is easy. That's because Kyle knows what he's doing, and he's a great coach. This is when I hear the idea of that we need to get rid of Kyle because Kyle hasn't won the Super Bowl yet. It really makes me chuckle because at the end of the day, it is all about winning the Super Bowl. Yes, it's all about getting that sixth ring. But you also got to take in place, okay, what's happening in between? Are we good enough? Are we entertaining? Is it fun to watch Niner games? Are we making enough dent to make it to the playoffs? In the last few years, I mean, every season has been a great season. We made it to the postseason. We never been one and out. We go in there, and if we don't make it to the Super Bowl, we make it to the NFC Championship game. And those things are not easy, and Kyle makes it happen. Kyle makes it happen. That's why, yes, we haven't won a Super Bowl. Yes, it sucks when we lose. But the fact that we lost to Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, there's no shame in that. That's a very good team. And we are a very good team. Now we're starting with a different team, but I'm going to transition to the defense, Jess. These young studs that are coming in are really making an impression on me. I'm excited. I understand it still needs time for every rookie to get into the groove, figure out Robert Saleh's system. But in 2 games, I've seen nothing but positive things of all our rookies. I've seen mistakes, and mistakes are going to happen because they're rookies. But then I see them learn from the mistakes right away, and that impresses me because they don't make that same mistake right again. Upton Stout is one that I can talk about. The first half, I believe that not of the Saints, but of the Seattle, he was getting blown up. He looked like a rookie. But in the second half, he made his adjustments and he came out like a different player. That gives me confidence, just that even though they're rookies and they're going to make mistakes, they're learning from these mistakes and they're getting better. And that's a great thing to have going forward. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the one thing with this defense is, you can tell, like in both games against Seattle and New Orleans, is the adjustments that they made. And you bring up Upton Stout, and that's exactly who I was going to bring up because, he was kind of getting beat, left and right. And then all of a sudden it was, he made the adjustment and, he did really well. And in the Saints game, like I said, the defense was more of a bend but don't break in this game. But I think the secondary, I think the secondary did pretty well.
I agree. I agree. Ronaldo Green is, still trying to figure out who he's going to be as an outside corner. We already know about Lenore. Now we got Optin in the middle. And then, I would have never thought that Siegel was going to start at safety over Jair Brown, second year Jair Brown. So that just tells you that positive side, the rookie's good. The negative side, the Jair Brown, maybe not so much. He's a great tackler, but he kind of gets lost in open space. But the fact that we're waiting for Mustafa to come back and we have Pennick in there, I like our secondary. And our defense is starting to get too comfortable with each other. And I love the pressure. I understand that everybody looks at sacks, and sacks are great. I get it. Get after the quarterback, get sacked. That's all awesome. But are we providing pressure? Are we moving that offensive line backwards? Are we disrupting the quarterback, his timing? And I say all that to say this. Mikael Williams, let's see if I have, which one is it? Nope, that's not it. Give me a second. There it is. Mikael Williams keeps getting better each week. And he hasn't got to the quarterback in the sense of a sack. But I've been watching tape. I just finished watching tape earlier today on the Niners and Saints game. And this guy is very disruptive. They put two people on him, and he's still able to push. That strip sack from Bryce Huff that we're going to talk a little bit later wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Mikael Williams doing what he does. A lot of times we want to see the highlights, right? We want to see the sacks and getting to the quarterback, but sometimes you can miss the things that these players are doing in each and every play until you watch the film and you break it down like I have. And I've seen how important Mikael Williams is already to this defense and the freedom that Robert Saleh has to do what he wants to do because of this guy's power. And last week it was nothing but complete bull rush. This week I saw a little bit of techniques added to the bull rush. I believe he's learning from Kasarik. He's learning from Bosa, and he's only going to get better. I want to get your thoughts on this rookie in 2 weeks. What have you seen of him? And have you been impressed so far?
Well, to add on to what you were saying, it's also important that, the big time players make the big time plays. And we've seen that these past 2 weeks. As far as Mikael Williams, I mean, he's been double teamed, and he's just kept at it. And I'm really impressed with him. Although, when we drafted him, I was happy that we drafted him. But I just, this defense is going to get better and better. And it all starts with Robert Saleh. And you can tell that Robert Saleh's back.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we drafted Mikael Williams, I heard a lot of Niner fans like, no, what? He could have, we could have got him later, or we should have got this player or that player. The kid that went to the Bengals that a lot of Niner fans wanted. Yes, thank you. He's been terrible. He's hurt, and you saw what he did in the offseason, not signing, and he's been a problem and a headache for the Bengals from day one. Niner fans, is that what you wanted? I don't think so. The kid that went to Atlanta, who was Mikael Williams' teammate with the Bulldogs in Georgia, he's doing okay. That guy is a pure pass rusher, but that guy could not contain the outside. And the Niners brought in Mikael Williams to eventually get better at going after the quarterback and getting sacks, but they brought him primarily to set the tone, to set the outside, and allow Bosa, allow Bryce Huff to allow the guys in the inside, whether it's Elliott, whether it's Alfred Collins, to go and get the quarterback. This guy always demands a double team, and he's able to move two players at the same time because of his size and his strength. When you put him one-on-one, he destroys that offensive guard down the middle. So I like what I've seen in Mikael Williams. I think this guy is a great fit. They brought him in to stop the run and set the edge. If he starts getting sacks, that's icing on the cake. But guys, that's not what he was brought in for. He was brought in to stop the run and set the edge.
Yes, he was. And I know, and definitely a lot of people were, wanted Shamar Stewart. They wanted a couple other people too. But I'm glad that we got Mikael Williams.
Yeah, I always say leave the picks to the experts, the scouts that are out there watching every game. They're not watching highlights like we do. And all of a sudden, we want to become experts on who the Niners should draft and shouldn't draft. And we allow emotion to take part of that. When you have these scouts that the Niners hire and pay very well to go out and scout these players and find hidden gems. Alton Stout, when he got drafted, I heard nothing but negative. What? Why are they spending a draft on him? Same thing with Martin. Now, Martin hasn't played, but that's because D. Winters is playing so damn well that you are able to develop Martin as he goes forward. But these picks, you gotta see what they become when they get picked by the Niners. You can't just assume because they did not pick a player that you liked that this pick was a bad pick. And I get that feeling a lot, Jess. When the Niners take a player that they do not like and pass on a player they think should come to the Niners, they don't even give the player that we picked a chance. They're automatically already negative. And then when the player starts playing very good football, and then all of a sudden, these guys come, watch the year. These guys come and start giving credit. Oh, yeah, that was a good pick. Where was that in the beginning? This is why I say, whatever the Niners pick, I'm going to give them at least 2 to 3 years to see how they plan out. Then I can come in with my insight and say, you know what? This was a damn good pick, or maybe this wasn't a good pick. The Niners should have done better. And then by 3 years in, Jess, the player that people thought the Niners should have picked, you will kind of know where they're at in 3 years as well. And maybe they're not as good as you thought they were. So like Stewart, so far he's starting off to a bad start. You're going to tell me that we should have taken him over Mikael Williams? I say hell no.
Well, I think last year's draft worked out pretty well, and so far so good with this year's draft class. Bebop, yes, Shamar Stewart did eventually sign. But yeah, I mean, everyone's always going to have an opinion. It doesn't matter. Just my thing is just, leave it up to the professionals.
Yes, leave it up to the professional. Absolutely. With that said, hold on. Let's talk about another rookie. Unfortunately, during the game, our left guard, Ben Birch, and prayers for a quick recovery on his part. I always hate to see in a player get injured, but it's the next man up. And we got this kid that we took out of Iowa in the 7th round, Connor. He came in, and oh my goodness, I watched tape on him just today, and the kid was incredible getting into the second phase of a run play, blocking, keeping his head on a swivel, realizing which way a defender was heading, and he was just on his feet constantly. I did not see no drop off from him to Ben Birch. I got excited when he came in. Not excited for the injury. Like I said, I hate injuries, but I did get excited that this young kid was able to take advantage of the situation given to him and take it by force. What were your thoughts on this kid coming in for Ben Birch at the left guard and right next to Big Trent?
I think it was only a matter of time before that happened. And you're right. There were, with Connor, insert Connor Colby, there was no drop off. And I think the line actually played more in sync, than with Ben Barch being in there. But we'll see. This was his first, his first game. We'll see what happens on Sunday.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. It's his first game. We got to see continually play, but it is a good thing that a rookie can come in and not fall behind and keep their line going as Ben Birch. And again, prayers to Ben Birch. And David McNiner says, Birch better watch out. Kobe might take his job. That's one thing.
I think that already happened, actually.
Yeah, that's one thing is sad about injuries that, and if anybody agrees with me, it's definitely going to be Alex Smith. That no matter how good you are, when you get hurt, you open up that lane for the player behind you to showcase what they can do. Now, for us as Niner fans, it's always a great thing to see the guy coming in to do better. Not so much for the starter, but at the end of the day, it's what have you done for me lately? And if the backup can come in and play better than the starter, it's a no-brainer to keep the backup in there and make him the starter. Daniel Cantu's in the house. What's up, guys? For those that just came in, Daniel Cantu, David McNiner, Bebop, Juice, Crazy Juice, welcome to the show. Guys, Brad Lodge came in. Welcome. We missed last week. Jess was working late. I had some things going on, so we had to skip last week. But we are here today, and we are glad that you guys are here with us. We're always excited to talk with you guys, and most of all, talk about our team, who is, by the way, if we haven't mentioned it, 2-0 starting the season, going into week 3. And I'm excited about that. Jess, let's move on to Bryce Huff, strip sack that sealed the second straight win on the road. And I said this earlier, Mikael Williams is kind of what made that happen because it freed up Huff to bend and get around not the guard, tackle, and get to the quarterback. When that happened, and the way the defense has been playing and putting pressure, at that moment when you saw that strip sack, what was your reaction, Jess? I want to get your pure reaction on that play.
I was so excited. I was screaming. I was jumping up and down. Like it was just that type of, like game. Same thing like Seattle. It came down to, the very last, the last play, whatever. And, like I said earlier, big time players make big time plays. And, against Seattle, it was Nick Bosa. This time it's Bryce Huff. But like I said, this defense is going to get better and better. And, hopefully we won't have a lot of games like that because I don't know if my heart can take it.
Yeah.
But it is definitely fun to watch.
It is, especially when you come at the end of the game with a W, right? You get those close games and it's hard, it's like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And then you come up with a W, it kind of makes things a little bit easier than with the loss. But yes, we got to kind of work on not having those nail biters each and every game. Give us a break, Niners. Give us a chance to just enjoy a win without panicking or worrying or trying to hold our bathroom use because we don't want to get away from the TV type of games. But at the end of the day, a W is a W. Thoughts on our kicker? Came in, missed his first attempt as a Niner, extra point. At that point, I'm like, oh no. But then it felt like the nerves went away and he played pretty damn good. What are your thoughts on what you saw on this kicker? The way where the ball went, it wasn't nowhere near any side of the end of the goalpost. It was kind of more down the middle, which I like. One thing I didn't like about Moody is that thing was cutting it too close to that goalpost. What were your thoughts on the new kicker in week 2?
You know, I like to say this a lot. You have one job. Okay. The offense did their job. So now your job is to come in and kick the extra point. And it was a little disappointing. But he did rebound, which was good. But I just need to see consistency from this point out.
Yeah. And the fact, I mean, missing the first extra point was discouraging, but based on what I saw after that, it was more encouraging. And again, we got to see more film on this kid. I mean, this kid, there's a reason why he's like the 4th best accurate kicker in the league. I don't know if you were aware of that, but he's the best 4th kicker in the league. So there's a reason why he got there. So let's just pray that he continues on. Now, talking about kickers, and I'm not going to stay on this topic too long because I don't really care about the team that he's on. But and the reason why I bring this kid up because he was an undrafted kicker. The same year they picked him up at the same year that the Niners took Jake Moody, and it's the Cowboys kicker, Audrey. That guy, that game would have not been won if it wasn't for that kicker. That guy kicked it from 2 states and made it in. I mean, that thing was far, and I think that's what the Niners wanted from Moody. It was that potential leg power that he has to give him the opportunity for a long kick. I know the kid that we have now, his leg is not as strong, but if you get him within his range, I think Kyle will feel more comfortable going to him for a kick. The fact that we were going for it in bad field position I wasn't liking it because the trust in Moody wasn't there. I know Kyle has to be a professional. He can't just let the whole world see how he really feels about a player. But I'm pretty sure he wasn't happy when Moody was missing those kicks. So I'm glad that we got that problem resolved, and to pray that he continues to play better for us. So, Jazz, moving on. I'm going to get your thoughts on the results of week 1 and 2. Oh, this one, I'm going to skip this one because I did not get to add them up. Me and Jess are, for those that don't know and tuning in, me and Jess decided to go ahead and pick all teams every week 1, week 2, and so forth. And I don't know if you added them by any chance.
I did.
If you add, that is great. If you can help me out with what our record is for week 1 and week 2. What is week 1? Because I haven't had a chance. So if you can share that, that'll be amazing. So week 1, what was our record? Starting with you, Jess.
Well, I only added mine up.
Oh, okay.
But I had week 1, I had 13 wins, and week 2, I had 12 wins, and I had combined both as 7 losses. So I'm 25 and 7.
Oh, excuse me. Nah, just kidding. I just added mine. I don't give a shit about you, homeboy. No, just kidding. I get you. I know I'm messing with you. I understand why you did it. I'm just giving you a hard time.
You're supposed to do your own homework.
I'm supposed to do both, actually, and I dropped the ball. I get it. No, I'm just messing with you. No, but I'll get that definitely for the next show. We are going to do our picks for week 3, but just based on what I heard from Jess, she's kicking my ass. So there's no pressure in me telling you how many games I missed in week 1 and week 2. So let's give it to Jess on that. Let's see if I have the proper. I forgot I loaded these up. Let's see. This is me going into week 3.
Oh my God, it's happening.
That's me. Hopefully that I can get it done. But did I get the hand? Nope, I did not enter that one. But oh wow. Jess is leading the play. So we'll see how it goes. The season is still young. I still might have a chance to come back and take that ring, but it's something we do. And we encourage you guys that are watching to also put in your predictions in the comments to see how good you guys do. Bebop says he went 8-8 this week.
Wow, he'd
Yeah.
be losing too.
Yeah, Bebop. I think I'm right. I'm right with you, bro. I should have played you instead of Jess. I probably would have had a better chance, but it's all good. There's still hope for Niners sickness. Jess, let's talk a little bit about the Cardinals and week 3. What do you feel the Niners have to do before we do our predictions? What do you think the Niners need to do first offensively to have the upper hand on the Cardinals, and then we'll switch it to defense?
Well, I think like every game, I think we need to run the ball because that's how this offense starts. It begins and ends with running the ball. So I think we need to do that. And defensively, I think I know the Cardinals have been saying that they haven't been getting the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr. A lot, and they need to get him more involved. I think defensively, we need to take him out of the game, not in that sense, but make sure he doesn't, catch a lot and
Hit him with the bat. No, I got you.
and also, limit James Conner's carries and stuff like that. So
I think Lenore is going to be up for the challenge on taking Harris. I think he's looking forward to running with him. I love Lenore's attitude. I love his energy. He's claiming to be the best corner, and whether he is or he isn't, based on stats, it doesn't matter to me. The fact that he's confident as a corner, the fact that he's talking his talk and walking the walk, it encourages me with him. So offensively, we got to run the ball. You're right. We got to run the ball more than we have. And we got to make sure that when we throw the ball to our open receivers, that they get the ball. And Ricky Pearsall has been really impressive to me in these 2 weeks. He's only getting better. How blessed are we to having him on our team? Because I know when he was drafted, people were, again, upset taking a receiver in the first round. And he has proven to carry this team while Ayuk is out, while Robinson is suspended. He is handling his business. What are your thoughts so far in 2 games from Ricky?
I like what I see. I think it's a continuation from the end of the season last year. And I think he looks even better. Like he's healthy. You mentioned, Brandon Ayuk and Demarcus Robinson. I mean, I'm looking forward to getting those guys back. Demarcus Robinson will be back week 4. You throw in George Kittle as well. So when we have the full arsenal, watch out.
Absolutely. And let's just go ahead and welcome Jay into the house. He says, key to Cardinals is to contain Murray. Hopefully this defense has finally figured out how to slow down mobile quarterbacks. We will see, definitely, because we're transitioning from being a bad against the run last year to getting better at that. But I'm going to be honest with you, I am more confident with Robert Saleh running the show back there and stopping Murray than I would be without him. So that is definitely a plus. Welcome to the channel, my friend. If you haven't subscribed, please feel free to subscribe. If you have, welcome back. He says Ricky is a dog. Yes, he is. And again, this is just a proven fact that when the Niners make a pick and you're not too familiar with that pick, you got to hold your judgment towards that pick. You got to hold that it's not a good pick. Oh my God, what were the Niners thinking? You got to reserve yourself to making comments that's going to make you look bad later on. Wait and see how these players play. And I want to just take ahead, apologize for my birds. Normally I put them in a cage outside of my office, but I've been running late today, so they're in here with me. So I apologize for the background noise, but in their behalf. But yeah, you got to reserve yourself to judging a player based just because maybe you don't know too much about him, or maybe you were being influenced by another player because talking heads were talking about this player instead of Ricky, and the Niners didn't take that player that you really wanted, and they took Ricky, you know, and in the right away we get disappointed. But Ricky has been a dog, and he is getting better, and I'm glad that we have him on our team. You know, yes, the Niners made some bad choices in the past. Solomon, Javon Kinlaw, we have. But if you look at it, the picks that the Niners have made, they have made more better picks than bad picks. And when you draft, and I want to get your thoughts on this, Jess, it's always a crapshoot. You're never going to hit everything right. You're drafting, because some players, they can be very good in college and just doesn't transcend to the NFL. So it's hard to judge. But, I mean, you got the George Kittles. I mean, I think somebody likes him in this chat. In the 5th round. You got Hufanga that is moving on, but you got him in the late round. Greenlaw in the late rounds. You got a lot of great players in the late rounds, and to say that the Niners don't know what they're doing is kind of harsh. So give these players that we draft an opportunity. So far, we're seeing it with Ricky. We're seeing it with Mikael Williams, CJ West will come along in time. I got Alfred Collins. It's going to be good. Upton Stout already showing that it's a great pick. So give the Niners a chance to prove to us that they know what they're doing. Like we need that anyway. But don't be harsh on the Niners. Don't call for Kyle and John's head, because they did not take a player that you were enamored with, and they took a player that you probably knew nothing about. Give them an opportunity. I love Ricky. And I think Ricky's going to be great. And I expect Ricky to have 2 touchdowns against Arizona this Sunday. I said it here first. So defensively, Jess, what do you think the Niners need to do defensively to stop Arizona, besides containing the obvious, which is Murray? And that's a great thought from Jay that brought up. But what are your thoughts, the defense, and what do we got to do besides stopping Murray to get this W under our belt?
Well, like I said, we got to stop the run, and we got to make sure Marvin Harrison Jr. doesn't get started.
Yeah, and I don't think stopping the run to me is something more that I think that we need to emphasize more than more. We just can't give up that big play, and and you don't want that, because you can keep control of the game for the most part, and then that one big play that the Cardinals have been known to do can really mess up the evening for you. So keep that big play in hand and stop the run, and I believe the Niners will be well. And continue to bring pressure, continue to cave in the pocket, continue to make Murray uncomfortable. Let him hear footsteps. Let him feel the presence of our alignments by him each and every time he steps back to throw the ball. Cover well. Glue yourself to the receivers and allow our big guys to get to the quarterback. Jess, what week 2, heading into week 3, I'm pretty sure you've seen enough to, if you were not already in love with D. Winters, do you think D. Winters has taken a huge step from last year to this year? Because one of the things that people were worried about is he could not cover well. He couldn't close it up very well. He was terrible in open space. It doesn't seem that way anymore. The kid is like a missile. He's covering very well. So do you see a huge impact in his growth from year 1 to year 2 playing?
I actually do, and I think the main reason is because he's healthy.
Yeah. You turned the ball to me so fast. I'm like, he is healthy, and I'm looking forward to a great game. And then Fred Warner is being Fred Warner, man, the quarterback of the defense, and Bosa doing Bosa stuff. I look forward to this game. I know we're going to do our game predictions in a moment, but for this particular game, because we all know we're picking the Niners, that shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. What is your score prediction for this game in particularly?
Well, last week I actually went 27-21, and it kind of fared out pretty well. This week I think I'm going to go 27-14 this week.
27-14?
Yeah.
I love it. So you guys heard it, Jess, taking the Niners, obviously, 27-14. I'm close with you. The Niners, to me, are going to score 34 points on that defense. I'm feeling confident that the Niners are going to open up Levi's with a great game offensively. So 34-17 Niners in this game with the W to go 3-0. And after this week, after game 3, we will get Robinson back. DeMarcus Robinson, the free agent that we picked up from the Rams, who has been suspended. He's been looking great. He had a great season last year with the Rams, but there's so many good receivers over there that he was kind of overlooked. But if you watch his tape, this kid is good. He's very impressive in the offseason and minicamp with us. So I'm excited to see him back. And then before we know it, we'll have Ayuk back. We're going to get Kiitle back. We got to continue to stack up these wins as we are waiting for our starters to get ready to come back and then just take this for a run this year. Anybody that's counted the Niners out because of the change in defense, shame on you. The Niners still have a lot of great players in key positions. When you have George Kittle, Brock Purdy, Trent Williams, Juice on offense, and Ricky now, and Ayuk, the only difference that he's hurt. When you have these guys, and then on defense, you have Fred Warner, who I just mentioned being the quarterback of the defense. You got Lenore in the back, and then you got Bosa in the front. You got a lot of key players. So when I heard the Niners are not going to make the playoffs, it's not going to be a good team, I'm like, where's this coming from? Who are you guys listening to? You guys got to be careful who to listen. That's why you got to listen to the Niners Now podcast, to me and Jess, because if you start hearing these negative things out there about we're not going to win games because we made all these huge changes. We brought Robert Saleh back into the fold. He's going to play and he's going to bring the best out of these players on defense. But our offense is still, we're hurting right now. We're limping through injury right now, but we're 2-0 going through injuries on the road. So be confident of your team. I'm excited, Jess, and I know we're going to win a lot of games and we're going to be in contention definitely by when it's all said and done. All right. So with that said, let's go ahead and move on to our picks of, and I'm not there because I changed cameras. Give me a second. There I am. So we're going to go ahead and do our picks. Give me a second. Let's bring up week 3. Drop it in there. Boom. Right in the spot where we need it. All right. So let me get Jess ready. Open this up. Boom. All right. Let me get to the right queue here. All right. There's Niner Jess. All right, Niner Jess. Go ahead with week 1. Miami at Buffalo. Week 3. Miami at Buffalo on Thursday Night Football.
Buffalo.
All right. We got Buffalo. Week 2. Atlanta at Carolina.
Atlanta.
All right, we got game 3, Green Bay at Cleveland.
Green Bay.
We got Houston at Jacksonville.
Houston.
Okay. We got Cincinnati at Minnesota. Okay. We got Pittsburgh at New England.
Pittsburgh.
We got the LA Lambs at Philly.
Philly.
We got the Jets at Tampa.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. We got the Colts at Tennessee.
Indy.
Indy. Indy has been playing really good football. Who would have thunk it with Daniel Jones? Good for him. Las Vegas Raiders at Washington.
Washington.
You got Denver Broncos, who lost to the Colts. That's crazy. But at the LA Chargers.
Chargers.
Chargers, I like that. No hesitation in her voice. New Orleans at Seattle.
Seattle.
Dallas at the Windy City, Chicago. Up
Dallas.
there. Dallas. Arizona at San Fran.
Go Niners.
Yep, go Niners. We got Kansas City at New York Giants.
I am taking the New York Giants.
I saw that, and I'm like, ooh, interesting pick. I love it. Didn't agree with it, but I love it. Monday Night Football for September 22nd, Detroit heading over to Baltimore.
Ravens.
And your final score, hold on real quick. Hold on. Give me a second. I should have been. For your final score.
44.
44. There we go. 44. There goes. So those are Niner Jets picks for week 3. Let's take a look at that because she's probably going to kick my butt once again this week. But it's all good. Real quick, we got Red Jet in the house. What's up, girl? How you doing? Welcome. We're doing our week 3 picks here on the show. Good to see you, my friend. All right, so now let's go ahead and turn off Jess picks and then move on to mine. Open up. Boop. Boop. All right, so let's start. Let me get into the right one. All right, Niners sickness. So for week 1, Miami at Buffalo. I agree with Jess. We're taking Buffalo. Week 2, Atlanta at Carolina. I'm taking Atlanta. Week 3, I keep saying week 3, but you know what I mean. Green Bay at Cleveland. I'm taking Green Bay. Houston at the Jags. I am taking the Jags in this one. Cincinnati without Joe Burrow at Minnesota without JJ. I'm still taking Minnesota. Pittsburgh at New England. I am taking Pittsburgh. Rams at Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles. Jets at Tampa. I'm taking Tampa. Indy at Titans. I'm taking Indy. Vegas at Washington. I'm taking Washington. I got the Broncos at the Chargers. I'm taking the Chargers as well. We got New Orleans at Seattle. I am taking Seattle at home. Dallas over the Bears. Niners over Arizona. And then for the Kansas City and Giants, which surprisingly, when Jess took the Giants, I'm like, that's all right. Either she's going to blow me out of the water with the total game wins here, or I'll be able to catch up a little bit because I am taking Kansas City in New York. Russ looks like he found the fountain of youth a little bit. So, and the Monday night game, we're taking Baltimore over Detroit. And for my pick, final score, I am taking it 55. 10 points above my friend Jess, trying to narrow the gap. And I got poop in my hands. Hold on. Yep. That's what happens when you have babies. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, never leave home without this. Because it can really come in handy when you don't realize that poop's on you. It's all right. It's good poop. Hot babies. Anyway. So those are my picks for week 3. I will total up. I will make sure that week 1, week 2, and week 3 are brought up for your guys' up-to-date information before we do week 4. Jess, anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
No, from here, come join me, Ty Austin, Maddie B, Niner Lady Dina on the East Coast Red and Gold podcast tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah,
It'll be
make sure
fun.
to check out their show. Do you have any guests there tomorrow?
No, not tomorrow. It's just
Okay.
the 4 of us.
Okay, which is enough for me to watch. I just keep forgetting. When you're the same age of the total picks that I picked today score, you tend to forget things, and I forget things. But it's all good in the hood. Listen, guys, you guys are amazing. Each and every one that tune in today to support the channel. You guys are awesome. We do this for one because we enjoy each other's company, me and Jess, and talking football, but most importantly because we enjoy you guys in the chat. You guys are the faithful. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Tune in to Jess's channel. They're doing amazing work over there. So make sure to watch them and enjoy Thursday night football. Enjoy the rest of the week, and we should see you. If God willing, we should see you here next Tuesday, same time, 4:30 p.m. Pacific, and it's 8:30 p.m. Eastern, correct? Yeah, 8:30.
7:30 p.m. Eastern.
7:30. Yeah, that Eastern time. I gotta go live in the East Coast for a little bit so I can figure out those 3 hours differences. Maybe I'll move in with Jess. She could put me in her she could put me in her doghouse. You got to build it a little bigger, but hey, anyway, moving on. We appreciate each and every one of you. I love your background. Normally, I don't have this background. I have my green screen, but again, today was a crazy day. I swear, I looked at the clock. It was 2:00. I was doing some things. The next thing I look at the clock, and it's 3:45 or almost 4:00, and I'm like, oh crap! And it felt like 5 minutes. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to leave in the comments your score predictions for this week so that we can keep up with you guys as well. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to get off of here before these birds eat my ear off live. They're hungry.
Go Niners.
Go Niners. Jess, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. Every one of you, God bless and have a wonderful evening. We're out of here.
See ya.